friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are deep diving into the research proposal, the very first and the most important step in your research journey. Whether you are a master student or starting a PhD, writing a strong and clear proposal will set up you for success. If you haven't already, do check out my previous video where I explained the difference between a research proposal, a synopsis and a dissertation. That will give you a nice big picture before you dive into this one. So what exactly is a research proposal? Think of it as a blueprint of your project. It tells you what you want to study, why it is important, and how you are going to do it. At the same time, it is not just for you. It convinces your supervisor or institution that a research idea is both important and feasible. In short, it is a research plan written in a structured way. Let's start with title. Your title should be short, specific, and clear. Anyone who reads it should instantly understand your topic. Avoid heavy jargon. For example, instead of saying a comprehensive investigation of nosocomial infections in tertiary care facilities, you might write hospital acquired infections in teaching hospitals, a study of risk factors. Short, simple, and clear. Next comes your introduction or background. Begin with a hook that grabs attention, maybe a striking statistic, a current challenge, or a gap in the society of healthcare. Then explain the bigger picture, why a topic matters in general. Slowly narrow down the focus until you arrive at a specific problem. This flow makes your proposal engaging and logical. The literature review shows what is already known. Don't just list studies, instead, group them, compare them, and highlight what is missing. For instance, you can say previous studies have looked at A and B, but none have focused on C. That missing piece is your research gap. Keep the review focused and relevant to your research area. Next is research gap, heart of your proposal. Point out what is missing, conflicting, or underexplored in the current evidence. Then clearly state how your study aims to address the gap. This shows the originality and value of your research. Next is need of the study. Here you justify why your study should be done now. Link it to the real world importance, whether that's improving patient care, influencing policy, or advancing scientific knowledge. This section answers the question, why is the research necessary today? Aim. The aim is a single, precise statement of what your research intends to achieve. Keep it sharp and clear. Objectives. Objectives break down the aim into achievable steps. Every step needs clear objectives or research questions. Stick to 2 or 4 strong ones. Your primary objective is the main goal, while secondary objectives support or expand it. Always make them measurable and time bound. Use action words like to investigate, to analyze, to evaluate. For example, to evaluate the relationship between BMI and hepatic enhancement. The clearer your objective, the easier it will be to design your methods later. Next is methodology. Methodology is the backbone of your proposal. Here you explain how you will actually conduct the research. First, mention your design. Is it qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods? Whether it will be conducted, and the sample size. Next, describe how you will collect your data, whether is it surveys, experiments, imaging, interviews, etc. It is also important to clearly state your inclusion and exclusion criteria. That is, who will be the part of your study and who won't. Once that is done, move on to your data analysis plan. For example, you can specify which test or software you will use to interpret the results. Finally, show the feasibility that you have time, resources, and access to complete the work. Remember, always write down in the future tense because this is a proposal. You are describing what you will do, not what you have done. A proposal with the clear and practical methodology always looks stronger and give confidence to the reviewers. Next is analysis. Here, mention the test you will use, such as t-test, chi-square test or regression, and the software like SPSS or R. Also specify how you will interpret the results through p-values, effect size or confidence intervals. Next is outcome measures. It defines how you will evaluate your success. Clearly state your primary outcomes, then secondary ones. These can be quantitative, qualitative, or both. Expected outcome. It describes what you hope to observe. Stay objective. Don't assume your hypothesis will be proven. Instead, explain the potential direction your results may take. Once we identify the research gap and explain why the study is needed, the next step is to highlight the significance of the study. This is where we tell the audience why the study matters both in theory and in practice. Let's take an example. Imagine you're studying the effect of physical activity on stress reduction among the office workers. The research gap may be the most studies only looked at exercise in the athletes, not in the working professionals. The need of the study is that stress among the office worker is growing concern. Now the significance would be the study can provide new evidence on how simple lifestyle changes like daily walks can reduce stress in office employees. It is not only add knowledge but also help organization design better workplace wellness programs. So whenever you are writing the significance of your study, remember link your gap and need to the broader impact. Show how your work adds to knowledge, improve practice or benefit society. That's what make your research meaningful. Next is clinical implication. Go a step further and highlight the clinical implications. For example, improved diagnosis, better treatment decisions, smoother workflows, or advancements in imaging practice. Next is sustainable development goals. Next, connect your research to the Sustainable Development Goal. Most health-related projects align with SDG 3, that is good health and well-being. But you may also connect to the SDG 9 or innovation or others if any relevant to your topic. This Gantt chart or time plan is best to show visually with the Gantt chart. Break your research into phases, data collection, analysis, writing, and show timelines for each phase in your research. Next is references, and of course your references should be recent, relevant and cited in the correct style, whether APA, Harvard or Vancouver, depending on your university guidelines. Double check formatting, small mistakes here can look careless. Finally, tips for writing the strong proposal. A few tips to make your proposal stand out. Keep your writing clear and focused. Avoid unnecessary jargon. Be realistic about what you can achieve. Always follow your department's specific guidelines. And lastly, proofread carefully. Lastly, proofread carefully. Nothing makes a proposal look weaker than careless typos. Funding details, performer, coursework details, pilot study or preliminary work. If you have already done a pilot study, mention it here. Even small preliminary work shows feasibility and strengthen your proposal. Finally, include annexures like plagiarism reports, ethical approval letters or sample data collection sheet. These add completeness to your proposal. So these things can vary from institute to institute. It's better to follow the guidelines properly given by your institute. Writing a research proposal may seem overwhelming at first, but it is really just careful planning on paper. Once you have written a strong proposal, you're already halfway to your success. If you would like me to share templates and examples, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more academic tips. See you next time. Bye bye.